Hello, everyone. Today is Thursday, July 20th, 2023, at 5:05 a.m. in the morning. I went to bed last night. I think I remember it was about 10:40 last night, or almost 10:45, that I went to bed, and I actually fell asleep and slept good for a few hours. Hold on. So, they had something crawling on my bed. Hold on, y'all. It's a slug. I don't know if that's a slug or what. That's, yeah, so a slug was just now crawling on the bed. So I went to, oh man, last night was a night that I was afraid that I was gonna die. I was afraid that I was gonna die. That's how bad I felt last night. Like, I was not feeling well at all. That's why I didn't, I wasn't feeling well at all. Excuse me. So, I wasn't feeling well at all, but, that's why I didn't do a video later on in the middle of the night like I usually do. I was just extremely tired, was not feeling good at all. And I know I did, I had a lot to report on yesterday, and the harassment was, and the abuse from the gang stalking was so bad. Excuse me. I got this mucus in my throat. So the gang stalking attacks was so bad. It was, and like yesterday when I walked to the Family Dollar Tree, there was unusual heavy police presence. I saw at least 4 or 5 different police cars I know that they were surveilling and watching me, trying to intimidate me, because it apparently made the gang stalking network upset yesterday. No, I'm sorry, the night before last, when I did another video, talking about discussing as much truth as, like, I spoke the truth of as much as I can remember and recall what happened. Excuse me, it's just mucus in my throat. As much as I can recall and remember what happened with Raven, because what triggered that was an online perp just randomly out of nowhere, who never commented on any of my videos before, just randomly, said what happened at Tulane Hospital. So that's what prompted me to do that video and explain in detail again multiple times. And my story has not changed. There might have been some certain, because it happened so long ago, there might have been certain details that I may not remember or may not recall. But the basic themes of the situation, my story has been consistent all these years. But my twin sister has manipulated, lied, and switched up stories, and, So that made the Gang Stalking Network really mad. It was supposed to be all one video, but it turned into 3 different videos. One was a very short video because they kept on sabotaging and pausing and freezing and manipulating, because they want me to look guilty and they want me to be guilty of stuff that they want to hold me responsible for stuff that I'm falsely accused of that I never did. So, what was supposed to be one video turned out to be 3. No matter how long or short, it turned out to be 3 videos when it was supposed to be one video. And thanks for you supporters who gave me, it looked like I had, on the first video, it looked like I had 4 thumbs up, and more people watched that one than the rest of it, like the second part. But the second part, I didn't have as many views, but I had like 2 thumbs up. But the first one, I had 4 thumbs up, which tells me that, it has nothing to do with clout or attention or followers or anything like that. But you're giving me 4 thumbs, like 4 people giving me 4 thumbs up. It helps me feel validated that, it's like, it helped me feel some relief, because if you give me a thumbs up, that, it means that you're saying, I believe you. I'm on your side. I support you. So thank you. Thank y'all, whoever, thank y'all for supporting, defending, and believing me. Because if I was truly guilty, lock me up. Lock me up. All y'all do is stalk and harass and make false accusations. Y'all know exactly where I live. Since you brag about finding out exactly where I live, yeah, if I'm guilty of doing something to Raven or guilty of doing something to anybody else, come lock me up. I challenge and dare y'all. Come lock me up, but where's your proof? No proof at all. But nobody defended me enough to say that I had a right to sue my twin sister for slander, libel, and defamation. But people with narcissistic personalities, they want to make those threats and sometimes follow through with the threats of trying to sue you or make threats to sue you for slander, libel, and defamation as a way to silence you and prevent you from talking. And they don't want to be found out. But the narc always has more rights than the sufferer. But y'all ain't gonna silence me until my life ends. This gang stalking program and finding out the truth, and it has helped me to be bolder and more courageous, because I have been a scaredy cat just about all my life. Just about all my life. Yeah, I've been a scaredy cat all my doggone life. So it's like they try to manipulate and twist for their lies. They manipulate and twist their words and their lies to convince people to think that because the lie sounds like it makes sense. People think that they're telling the truth because they want to hear what they think makes sense to them. Not the raw truth and raw reality. Like, not the authentic reality. But they think that, they just reverse the truth about everything. So, the online gang stalk. I mean, other targeted individuals, they might have a couple or a few of harassers who might harass them like a one-time thing or temporarily. But me, I'm getting like years. I mean, I'm gonna say ever since ever since Yahoo Answers in 2006. I mean, that was it wasn't my first experience of online bullying or something like that, but that was when it all started online. And me asking questions and stuff and then be treated with abuse to the point to make me suicidal, depressed, or because somebody hurt my feelings online, I felt like as if I did or said something wrong, and I felt like as if that person with the rude response ruined my whole day. And I actually, throughout the years, lost sleep because of how hurtful people were on Yahoo Answers. But they still had some nice people. They still had some love. And I didn't get heavy harassment during the MySpace days, because that was around when Yahoo Answers started. But I mean, I've had a few instances of bullying and harassment, or people treating me mean. Like, of course, MySpace was, you trying to connect on the internet with people you went to school, like Facebook, trying to connect with people you went to school with and stuff. And so the people who I went to school with, like, since first grade or all the way through college, I would fall into a psychological, emotional, and mental depression. And even certain biological and foster family members, if they would get in a Masonic smelly crab family members, I would go into like a deep psychological, mental, and this was before I became a Christian or started believing in Jesus Christ, like quite a few years before then. So then I would end up in like a psychological, mental, and emotional, like deep depression, because somebody either during the MySpace days or even Facebook got hateful and blocked me for no reason, or if they kept repeatedly rejecting my friend requests. And I didn't know about the agenda about gang stalking. I didn't know that they were doing that to me because they're perps, or because they're satanic or demonic, or because they're Masonic sellouts. But they will have some people who don't like you, but you don't know that they don't like you, and you haven't contacted them in years, and then you see them on, like, back then, MySpace or Facebook, and they will add you as a friend. But, just because a person adds you on social media don't mean that they like you or care about you. But I'm glad I don't do Facebook anymore, because some people say that social media has a certain kind of witchcraft on it to not only destroy mental health, but destroy souls. Because I be seeing and hearing stuff even on TikTok that I either am not supposed to see or that I don't want to see or hear. And even on YouTube. Excuse me. So when I was on Facebook, a lot of the biological family was on there, and even now, if I would have seen the family members' Facebook profiles, if I had a Facebook still, I would just go into such a deep, deep depression. Even biological family members who hated me or didn't like me, they still added me as a friend. But the biological cousin Blake, when he was alive during the MySpace days, Blake, my own cousin, kept repeatedly, the one that's deceased now, he kept repeatedly rejecting my friend requests, but added other family members. But I'm surprised. Well, Raymond, my nephew Raymond, he didn't really have social media like that, and a lot of my family members, they're not that. Some of them are not that big on social media, and some of them too damn retarded to be like big on social. I mean, to be using social media. But other family members, excuse me, it seemed like as if you know, it seems like as if social media and the family, and you see other family members' pictures and videos of them getting along and how close they are and everything, and you just or they have like a lavish birthday bash, while when your birthday come around, you don't even get a birthday wish or nothing, and it's just like very depressing. And you call like me personally, if I call myself trying to celebrate by myself for birthday, what would happen is, for me trying to celebrate, I get attacked and yelled at, like as if I'm forbidden and not allowed to treat myself to any birthday. So, and then for me to, say for example, all right, excuse me, y'all. So for example, I'm just one person by myself. Not even my twin sister I can celebrate with. But if I buy a whole cake, and if I'm not homeless and I buy a whole cake, I be trying to share the cake with family members. I mean, I'm sorry, not family members, because I've been living out of state. But sharing with trying to share with the neighbors in town. Trying to share the birthday cake with the neighbors in town, and then and I don't know why. For our birthday in 2017, I don't recall giving the biological family members any cake, but I tried to share it with neighbors. Maybe I wasn't on good terms with Ramona and all them. I don't remember. But I remember on me and my twin sister's birthday, it was 2017, and due to the direct energy attacks on our birthday, it was bad enough that I had to go to the emergency room and was treated with gang stalking, narcissistic abuse on our birthday in 2017 in the emergency room. And that's when I found out about Hurricane Harvey. And then, so I think it was a couple of days after our birthday, I went to try to share the cake with neighbors in Jefferson, Shrewsbury, part of New Orleans. And I went to try to go share with neighbors, share the cake. And they try to narcissistically and self-righteously try to talk about, I think they were perps that just wanted to make me feel bad. They just want to make me feel bad, and so they try to be narcissistic and self-righteous about how they don't eat sweets or how they don't eat sugar. They will even go as far as to lie and say that they're diabetic and can't have that, just like with the donut sticks when I tried to offer on the bus earlier this month. I really think that was the gang stalking script for them to lie and say, "Oh, I can't have that. I'm diabetic," as the way to, thinking that they can try to curse me with diabetes. So, like, some people feel like even Christians shouldn't celebrate birthdays, or other people feel like celebrating birthdays is Luciferian or narcissistic self-worship. If they'll feel like celebrating your birthday is that you can be a narcissist for a day, or that the birthdays are not Christian but supposedly Luciferian in origin. And I be like, it's like when holidays or birthday come around, I be trying very hard to, not celebrate. And then a lot of times end up feeling left out. But I was homeless, dead on the streets last year for Thanksgiving, and all that they had to serve was, Thanksgiving style food. Or else, and all the restaurants were closed, and not all the restaurants, but a lot of restaurants were closed, and they had Thanksgiving style food. So if you were homeless and hungry, you weren't going to get nothing else or I guess you would have to fast for the day or something. But I was disappointed because at that fake Catholic church, and the Hispanic people that came to give me some food and clothes and stuff, like, all that food was nasty enough that I didn't want to eat it. It was so nasty. Now, like, what's the point of gathering at a church to serve homeless people for Thanksgiving just to give them flavorless, shitty food and throw stuff together like you don't? Because they're all narcissistic. And they sit there and give you crappy Thanksgiving food. Like, how can you have a Thanksgiving turkey like as if you took the turkey and put it straight in the oven with no flavors, no seasonings, nothing at all. You might have undercooked hard, crunchy potatoes on the side, mushy mac and cheese with no flavor, and then turn around and have overly salty collard greens or something, and straight up canned yams or something, and look like as if you take regular bread and just throw some chicken broth on it and then call it Thanksgiving. I mean, it seemed like as if they try extra hard to give crappy, shitty food for Thanksgiving. But I'll tell you one memorable. So like before that though, for Thanksgiving, if you're homeless, what you have to encounter is the Order of the Eastern Star, or Freemasons serving your Thanksgiving food at a Baptist church, at a Black folks Baptist church. Or you have to, if you go somewhere else, like the shelters or other agencies feeding the community, as I described, that bland food to feed the homeless, where they just don't give a damn. And I mean, bad enough to make us feel worthless and make you want to cry. Like as if it's supposed to be some sort of prison punishment food. And then you might have some cake that tastes almost like for Thanksgiving, you might have some cake that tastes like straight up baking soda. Straight up baking powder. Or you might have pumpkin pie that's like no sugar or oil or nothing at all. And then so you either have to deal with the Freemasons, the Order of the Eastern Star, or people who practice witchcraft to serve homeless people for Thanksgiving. Or they have people, like, you don't even know if they have people pretending to be fake good Samaritans that's driving around pretending to do fake good deeds and then donating cursed food to the homeless for the holidays, because that be like the biggest satanic rituals during and around the holidays. And so then yeah, so what am I missing? The Freemasons, the witches give you cursed food, or the Catholics or certain other agencies giving you flavorless food. And there's one other thing. I can't remember. Another thing I was going to say. So, excuse me. So, the only memorable Thanksgiving that I ever had, as a homeless person, when I was homeless on the streets, was when I was living in Greenville, South Carolina. But I wasn't homeless at that time. I had a place to live. At that time, but I was invited to go with the homeless but I had to, was it a school bus? Yeah, they transported us on a school bus, what it looked like a school bus, and sent us to this church in Simpsonville, South Carolina. And in Simpsonville, the church had some amazing good ass food, and it was like the church served the homeless people and more like an all-you-can-eat Thanksgiving buffet. It tasted way better than what Golden Corral might serve. I mean, everything was good. But my problem is, homeless people, mainly men, because men don't care, but sometimes women are more meticulous with trying to be clean and not be so dirty. But they got some women who don't care, and they don't care about being dirty. But also, they might have a moment where you can't if you want to be clean, but you can't get to shower or wash your hands or whatever like you want to. So I understand that too, but me and the OCD and everything, but if they have people with the blackest, dirtiest hands I've ever seen, and then, we all use our hands to touch the spoon and then, serve ourselves. And then some of the food, you have to, you eat it with your hands. Like the turkey, you eat it with your hands. Or pie, or you might pick it up with your hands and eat it. And it's like other people's dirty germs, so that was the thing, one of the main things that ruined the moment, though. But, I like the idea of well-flavored, beautiful, good food and stuff that day. But, finally somebody treated homeless people like they were worthy and gave them some real good food. But sometimes they give the homeless 4 and 5 plates of food, and a lot of the times the food, they don't have any place to store leftovers, and so they end up the food be having to go to waste and stuff. But in 2020, I was in a motel, and I made a willful attempt to not participate in having Thanksgiving. And I mean, what did I have? I don't remember what I had, but I had some odd food to eat. I was staying in the extended stay hotel, and yeah, I kind of don't remember what I had. I don't remember if I had like small pickled quail eggs and capers and something else. I don't remember, but it was far from any kind of Thanksgiving food. And then, excuse me, the family don't care about you. They exclude you, or they will make Thanksgiving to be very depressing. I'm sorry, Christmas to be very depressing. But then and then they exclude you from family functions. But once they find out that you no longer celebrate Christmas, then they want to act like they want to try to make you come to their gatherings. That's the kind of mind games that they play. So, excuse me. So then, the fact that me and my twin sister's birthday is coming up this next month, a month and 5 days, I'm not even going to try to, I mean, she'll make sure that it never works for us to reconcile for our birthday, but she had to have been recently talking about the Tulane incident recently somewhere on social media in order for that perp to come and say, oh, what happened at Tulane Hospital, or whatever. So I did a 3 videos that was, actually 2. The second video was me explaining the technical difficulties that the gang stalkers did. And so by early yesterday morning, I had already had at least 7 videos up. I mean, like, the 3 different videos pertaining to what was supposed to be 1 video, 3 videos of that, and then 4 videos of the gang stalking documentation, because I mentioned about the dishwashing liquid and everything. So I was trying to say, with all the noise and everything, I was trying to say that the cashier at Family Dollar, that when the manager was having me to sign a receipt to get my money back, the worker, that's when she started to tap her nails on. She had long nails or fake nails, and she started tapping. I think it looked like, I remember I could be wrong, but it looked like they were painted white. And she was tapping her nails. She started to tap her nails on the counter, and which let me know that, okay, you gaslit and slick double charged me twice for that dishwashing liquid. You did that twice. It wasn't an accident, because they did that to me twice with a couple of items, a couple of different times at the Dollar General. And so then I'm glad that the refund, it went back on my card instantly. and went back on my card instantly. So, yeah, I had a lot of online harassment yesterday. A lot of it. It was really bad. It was really bad. Really bad. Really bad. And so with I was like Jessica, Stephon Adams, and a few other perks I don't remember harassed me on YouTube. And then she made more videos about me. And so what they'll do is, I have them blocked on YouTube. I try to tell YouTube to turn off the settings of people mentioning me, and YouTube still shows them. So when they harass, they will either share my post and tag me and mention me and try to discredit me or falsely accuse me of something, discredit my targeting or my truth exposure, and try to smear, campaign, and lie. So they brag, falsely lie, and say that they're exposing me when they're actually smear, campaigning, and lying on me. What gang stalkers do. But they lie and say that they're exposing the truth about me. And so, after I did the video, actually, no, I think it was 8 videos yesterday morning that I did. That I uploaded. So I'm sorry it was a lot. Excuse me, this mucus in my throat. And so, Stephon Adams, he bragged about falsely reporting my my blog post and everything. And they just don't want the truth to get out. And he kept on harassing me throughout the day. Wouldn't leave me alone. You're old. I don't know how old you are, but you're pretty old. You lie and say you never doxed me. Yes, you have. Using my videos and pictures and my content without my permission just to speak badly and falsely about me. So I'm not allowed to expose the truth, but they can spread lies all day. And so then they try to manipulate things for me to end up for me to feel doomed. So Satan's Gym falsely accused me of being demonic. And Edible Landscapes, I think Edible Landscapes was the perp. It was either the Edible Landscapes or not the targeted individuals, not the targeted individual named Sunshine 849, but there's a perp with the name simply Sunshine. And I don't remember if it was Sunshine or Edible Landscapes that said that they can't wait for me to put down like a rabid dog and for me to be put out of my own misery. That they can't wait. And then, and I don't remember which one of them that falsely accused me of laying on my back in a hotel room bed and pity prostituting. So they falsely accused me of laying on my back and to pity prostitute. And so Edible Landscapes lied on me and said that I sold my soul to the devil and agreed to the schizophrenia diagnosis and took a deal to take Social Security money all these years. That's not even how it happened. Or for over 20 years. That's not even how it happened. I explained how everything happened, but they want to manipulate and twist everything and they want their lies to sound believable. So people believe what they think makes sense to them. If you tell the truth, people say you're crazy, and the truth never makes sense. I was young, and as I said, the foster mom and the social worker, they forced me against my will, on Social Security and made it like as if I didn't have any other choice. So the foster mom could be taking my money. That's facts of what happened. But they think they know more than you. And so Satan's Gym also lied and said that, Candy lies about what time she wakes up in the morning and what time she falls asleep, and which is not true. Why would I lie about something like that? And Satan's Gym lied on me and tried to say that that I'm a demonic witch and that she stays. They want to try to control what I do, and try to say that the fact that she just stays on the internet and posts videos all day, that's proof that she's demonic. Well, let me tell y'all something though. Y'all sit there and watch every video that I do. So what makes you any less demonic? I'm not demonic. Not on purpose. But as I said, their projection is self-confession. They getting paid to do all this stuff to me. I wish I was psychologically, mentally, and emotionally strong enough to the things that they do and say wouldn't bother me. But if you try to ignore them, the bullies I've dealt with throughout my life, the bullies do not stop and go away. It might work for some people, but if I try to ignore bullies, they ramp up the tactics. If I try to go without my phone, see, when I don't have my phone, the gang stalking is way worse. Other professed targets say the opposite. But if I leave out of here without my phone, then they be making like assassination attempts, like attempted murders and everything else on me. And y'all mock and laugh at me for filming and recording everywhere I walk. So I was considered vulnerable when the perps and the silver Nissan, I don't remember if it was silver or gray Nissan Xterra in Pensacola, when I was legally crossing the street, and they sat there and they went all from 5 lanes, from the left turning lane and all the way to the right, and it's like as if they try to run into me deliberately and on purpose. And but they missed. God must have had his hand on me, protecting me, because they missed. So, the sex traffickers falsely accused me of fraud because they try to feel like, well, if Candy is receiving SSI and Social Security and she's not seeing a psychiatrist and actively taking medicine and being treated for schizophrenia, that's fraud. But I'm not. The foster mom committed fraud to get me on Social Security and falsely slandered me as schizophrenic, and the doctor did not tell me that she thought I was schizophrenic. The doctor, the psychiatrist, had me diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, Tourette syndrome, and generalized anxiety disorder. And the fake social worker Karen Pierce told me that that they kept applying for me to get Social Security and SSI, and that they kept rejecting me, saying that I'm not disabled enough. So that they went in and made a lie to say that I'm schizophrenic, so that they can, you know, take, so that they can, and of course you wouldn't want Social Security if the foster mom sit there and take the money off for herself. I mean, I didn't even like, but I didn't even want to live with her after I turned 18. But you know, for things to be hopeless and me having nowhere else to go, say if the foster mom did to me like what happened, not necessarily that. What if she would have just threw us out on our 18th birthday, and if I didn't have college to go to, if I didn't have college to go to, then being blacklisted, can't get a job, nothing, because the foster mom, you know, she put in place for me to be blacklisted, so that, I mean, where I couldn't get a job, they try to, you know, pull strings to make me appear to be as disabled as possible, so that the foster mom can be taking those checks for herself. The foster mom was stealing my money. Nobody's going to call her fraud. But, I mean, even if I did commit any kind of intentional or knowing Social Security fraud or any other kind of fraud, what business is it of the online stalkers, though? Strangers who don't even know me. And they don't even be having their facts straight. They lie, manipulate, and twist things. And, you know. But in 2018, as I said, even though I am disabled, because due to the foster care experimentation made me disabled, but I don't know for sure if to say that I was born with the disability. But early in childhood in foster care, I had like they say, me and my twin sister had so many medical problems. But they sat there and pulled strings to manipulate for my twin sister to look normal. They got her off all her psychiatric medications and put her in the military, something I wanted to do. But now I'm glad that I didn't go. That might have been God's protection for me too. Now I'm glad that I didn't go. Now I know what I know now. And so then, and then, you know, they took my twin sister after she sold her soul. We were still kids, you know. They took her off all her medication and put her in the Air Force like I wanted to go. And then trying to manipulate things, like choose favoritism on purpose and rub it in my face and falsely accuse me of being jealous. They sent for me to go to college, and a college that I never wanted to go to Nicholls State University. And, you know, as I said, I was an adult, and the foster mom was still trying to coercively control me. Very controlling and abusive. And now I don't hear shit from the woman at all. And it hurts that how can you, even if, how could you raise us from a baby and care absolutely nothing about us? You hated us throughout the years, and you kept us for the money. I would have rather her have she should have got rid of us at 7 years old, when she kept on saying, "Oh, y'all killing me, y'all killing me." I wish she would have got rid of us when we were 7 years old. But she was more aggressive and vicious when the foster dad Al was still alive. Not a bit of nice. But then after, I don't want to say after Al died, but more like when I was in 6th grade, she toned it down some. But then when the foster stepdad came in the picture, that was he was the one who used to play psych games and start lecturing. The foster mom didn't used to do that until after she married him. She didn't used to lecture us, really, not like that. And she didn't used to play psych games like that. She didn't used to play psych games, but she was mean and vicious as fuck. But Mickey is even worse, and Dana was even the worst. JB, the foster uncle, I don't know, because he was here in Texas. But I would be afraid to cross paths with somebody like him again, because, like, I know that he would automatically go to bat for and defend and agree with his sister. He wouldn't want to believe that, that, I don't know, he might be involved. He might be a Mason. See? They hit me with weapons. He might be a Freemason. If you got such high position in the Air Force, you're successful, and you like an ROTC instructor, I don't know about now, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a Mason. But the foster mom and that foster family, they got Masonic connections. And the foster cousin Cricket and some of her siblings, more like the sisters, were, excuse me, the foster mom's cousin Cricket, Joni's biological mother Cricket, the foster cousin Cricket, I'm wondering if Cricket was a targeted individual. Cricket and a couple of her sisters, because like they was like the foster family didn't like them, but the Cricket's biological brother Byron was allowed to be friendly with the foster mom Ann, Adrian Felder, and that man, for a brief moment, him and his wife were part of the fake IDMR cult for a brief moment. And that man was rich enough to afford to drive around in a Jaguar car. It was a car that was a Jaguar. So that man, that's Cricket's brother. But Cricket sitting there living on freaking I don't know her whole situation, but Cricket was forced to see a psychiatrist and take medicine called, the foster mom tried to control Cricket. Would not allow Cricket to see her own biological granddaughter. So the foster mom put stuff in our heads to make us think a certain way about certain people. So, I witnessed that the foster mom used to treat Cricket bad. Your own cousin. But that would have been traumatic for me if Cricket would have whipped the foster mom Adrian Felder's ass. If, me suffering, the Stockholm syndrome, I'm pretty sure Cricket had the capability of beating Ann's ass. But Cricket was scared of her. The foster mom had everybody afraid. But the foster mom manipulated and turned everybody against us. But yeah, I really think Cricket and some of her sisters were targeted because they were falsely smeared campaign as being neglectful and being on drugs, or and Kind of find out, like, so you made up lies on Cricket, and you know, as I said, I don't know everything, but Cricket and her sisters, they knew some secrets, and I guess they weren't with the bullshit. So, Byron living a high life. I think the brother Ronald was in the military. I know absolutely nothing about Ronald, but Cricket, Naomi, Regina, Phyllis, yeah, um, like it's like they were considered outcasted while the brothers were like elitists. But Cricket was like low income, forced low income, treated like a punished child with no rights. I'm sitting here feeling like, dog, I miss Cricket, hoping she all right. But I was sad to find out her sister Naomi had passed away around the same time that the biological half sister Yolanda died. I'm like, wow, this some wild shit. And I didn't realize Yolanda was freaking 63 years old. So yeah, they probably falsely smear campaigned Cricket as a bad parent. In the foster mom Adrian Felder, when we were like 7 years old, the foster sister Joni had a dog named a cute little puppy named Blackie. I think Joni named the puppy Blackie, or the dog. Either Joni named the puppy Blackie, or the dog's name was already Blackie. But then I think the foster mom was ranting and complaining like she had an issue with Cricket giving the dog a gift, and so, you know, she tried to, whether true or false, she tried to paint Cricket as a bad parent. And the foster mom used to say that Cricket, Naomi, Regina, and Phyllis and all them were on drugs, or that the cousin Skeeter and Ann's cousin Skeeter and Billy were like druggies, or like drug addicts or alcoholics or something. But the foster mom, like, I don't know if Skeeter and Billy, sorry for that noise out there, if Skeeter and Billy were, they probably would I think Skeeter and Billy could have been targeted individuals. One time, I think it was Skeeter, and I don't even remember Skeeter's fucking real name. And Skeeter, he bashed the car windows out of the foster mom's BMW. And the foster mom and the foster stepdad, they forced us to clean up all the glass out of the car as a form of punishment. Why y'all couldn't do it? Y'all made us do it. See how they use us as cleanup slaves? So, yeah, I remember that. I was still somewhere in elementary school. Could have been junior high. No, I was in junior high, because the foster stepdad, I was in middle school. Because he didn't, when I was at McDonald 26, the foster stepdad was nowhere in the picture at all in our lives. We were introduced to him like August, and I don't remember the date, but it was right before our 12th birthday. And something like the foster stepdad, I saw him on first sight and just didn't like him. But then he tried to gain favoritism by love bombing us with our faith, with as big a size as we want, with our favorite snowball. And I'm like, well, we never had anybody to do that for us before. But the foster mom put stuff in that man's head. The man, he probably could have been a nice person. Mr. Terry, the foster stepdad, probably could have been a nice person. But the foster mom put stuff in that man's head to make him think a certain way. And then he was a perp. He wasn't my handler, but he was a perp and a flying monkey. He was a perp and a flying monkey. And then it's like, we will argue with the foster stepdad, and then the foster mom will say, well, yeah, I'm not going to let y'all choose between me and my husband. One of y'all going to have to go. Oh, if y'all make me have to choose between me and my husband, y'all going to have to go. If he make me choose between y'all, he going to have to go. And well, we stayed. The foster mom, I guess she was just talking a lot of shit because she hated us, but financially we must have been too valuable for her. I mean, throughout so many years of making threats and scare tactics to get rid of us, but yeah, I guess with our disabilities and everything, with our disabilities, she must have felt like the money was too precious. So she didn't get rid of us, but I was thinking the day before yesterday, I think it was. And it occurred to me, it dawned on me that the foster mom treated us with the abuse that she treated us. Well, they say pimp is a slang term for handler. So for her to be abusive, I guess she was considered our pimp, but not sexually, but in other ways. So yeah. But my anxiety be really high in my videos, like performance anxiety, because of the gang stalkers being extremely judgmental and trying to play God. So due to the smear campaigns and harassment, I already blocked to where nobody can comment. I have my settings set to where nobody can comment on my blog because of the gang stalkers. Supportive people and normal people, they don't even be looking at my blog. But the gang stalkers stalk all my blog posts. Excuse me, So they made it to where the most read and popular posts are not from my ebooks or writings. I mean, not my ebooks or short stories, but the ones that they want to circulate and make viral is something that if I might rant and talk about a perp or a fake TI perp or a group of fake TI perps or narcissistic abusers in my life. Say, for example, if I do if I do a blog post about Star Bricker or something, if I do a blog post about Star Bricker, they will and they try to do that too, circulate it and make it popular and make it try to make it go viral and attempt to shame me and make me look and feel bad. So I turned off the settings and twice at two different times throughout the past year or so, I have made attempts to open my blog comments. And only the gang stalkers, that's how you know who's reading your stuff. Because when you see who's commenting, you know who's reading. So the gang stalkers, they're the only ones who really, I'll say that they make up 95% of who read my blog posts, but only maybe about 5% of people who read my blog posts come from Twitter. People on YouTube, they don't really read my blog, I don't think. So for me to receive harassing, slanderous, and threatening comments, multiple harassing, threatening comments on my blog, to protect my mental health, I was forced, because I would have wanted to welcome comments from other TIs in support of people, Christians or whatever, or narc abuse victims. So twice I've tried to open up my comments and got nothing but harassment and threats and stalking. So to protect my mental health, I shut to where nobody can make comments on my blog. Because they think they got more control over all my social media than I do on my own shit. And then the popular posts, they think that they can control and dictate what should be popular. So what I had to do this morning, it was kind of a challenge and difficult for me to find it, but I was able to make a way to where my popular posts would not be publicly visible. Because they really smear campaigning me really hard about that Social Security thing. The Social Security post that I made on my blog, they're smear campaigning me really hard. And they try to make that super viral and smear campaign and lie on me and deliberately and intentionally take my words and stuff out of context. You know, it's not their business what I did or said with the Social Security office, the Social Security worker. And they all lie on me and say that I acted a plumb fool towards the Social Security worker. So I did a video on my Targeted by the Psych World backup channel that I try to share to my community posts with the explanation of that. I knew that the lady over the phone, she had this attitude like she don't like black people. And like she treated me the way she treated me because I'm black. But that can be okay. Because if I was her race, then there wouldn't have been all that. She wouldn't have treated me the way that she did. I knew that and I started to wonder on the phone if she was racist or prejudiced against black people. And so the guy down the street, from the incident that happened back in April, the way he treated me, I knew he was racist against me. But as I said, at the DMV, the ladies were Mexican. And they pulled strings and went out of their way to help me than that black lady. And that black lady was so tall and had a masculine voice to the point where I never saw a woman that tall to the point where this got to be a transgender. And like abusive and narcissistic, and that lady or transgender or whatever, you know, was trying to sabotage and trying to block me from getting my driver's license switched over that day. Tried anything. But it was the Hispanic ladies, the Mexican ladies. They were Americanized Mexican. You know, I think they were, you know, Americanized Mexican. And, you know, they pulled strings to help me, you know, get my license. They helped me more than my own black people. So Stephon Adams and the other online gang stalkers are falsely trying to paint me as, you know, racist when it's them. So they sitting there trying to cover up their wrongdoings by trying to point out that I'm this wrong, this bad, and that bad, and everything. And I noticed that 2 people got hateful and unfollowed me on Twitter yesterday. One lady looked like she's an Asian lady, and she looked like she's an Asian lady, and she called herself electronic torture victim. And she had the same Photoshop fake Photoshop pictures that Doris Claus, who fraudulently and illegally falsely called herself Midge Mathis, from fake ass fraudulent injustice, what they want to call targeted justice. Yeah, those they sat there and yeah, you call yourself electronic torture victim, but you know, you got hateful and unfollowed me for whatever. 2 people on Twitter got hateful and unfollowed me. And then they had this guy who claimed he get V2K, he started to say and do weird perp shit and defend and agree with the perp. So I blocked him. And then they had somebody who was making narcissistic, smart ass responses to everything that I post. And then this morning was the last straw, and she falsely accused me of being a stalker for because I asked that a fellow TI that had been that hasn't been on Twitter since May. And you know how they traffic us and they make us disappear, they quiet us, silence us, or whatever. So if a person had been consistent with posting on social media in the TI community, and then you haven't seen that person or heard from that person. I mean, there was a lady on Twitter last year when my phone got messed up around me and my twin sister's birthday. And that person, you know, freaked out because she said that she hadn't been seeing me around on Twitter. So, you know, she was concerned. And I'm sitting here, you know, doing the same thing. So this narcissistic control freak, fake TI perp with not a shred of her own gang stalking evidence. And she's one of those people that's abusive and narcissistic enough that she would respond rudely or smart ass or, you know, to almost everything you post. Narcissistic and controlling and try to respond smart ass to everything you post. So she falsely accused me of being a weird stalker, and so I blocked her. And I'm like, I don't even know if you're really a TI because you don't even have any, you're narcissistic, controlling, and fake, and you don't even have any footage, any pictures or videos of yourself going through the suffering. So yesterday there was somebody on TikTok that asked me to share her video, you know. But I'm not going to say it because the online gang stalkers, yeah, gonna go and hunt. Oh, let me see who she's talking about. No, and start some mess. So I'm not gonna say it. So the gang stalkers were manipulating and playing with my thumbs up yesterday. The previous video, I had at least 3 thumbs up. And it looked like as if I woke up this morning in the middle of the night and it was 1 thumbs up instead of 3. And then, so, I mean, they say such horrible stuff about me. Like as if I'm the worst person on the world. I mean, the worst person in the world. Yeah, so I think I slept from, I don't remember if it was like almost 10:45 to 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, I don't remember if it was 2 o'clock or 2:30, but I definitely went to bed at like 10:40. And then, wow, because when the gang stalkers talk about that they can't wait for me to be put down like a rabid dog, you know, that bothered my conscience so bad. You know, I can't get over it. And then, so I watched a few videos online about what is a rabid dog. And then I saw traumatizing videos about dogs and humans too. You know, I saw traumatizing videos about dogs and humans having rabies or dying of rabies. And then, like, it was last week or the week before. I think it was last week. And that traumatized me enough to make me afraid to even step foot outside this cabin. And then in the middle of the night, they used the dream manipulation tactic. They're hitting me in the heart and making me feel weak and faint right now. They hit me in the heart and making me feel weak and faint. So they did the dream manipulation for me to have a nightmare about a whole gang army of rabid dogs. Like, it was a traumatizing nightmare for for me to, and I think in a dream I was homeless again. In a dream, for me to be homeless on the streets and be surrounded by so many rabid dogs with rabies. And that nightmare traumatized me to the point where I could not go back to, after 2-something this morning, I couldn't go back to sleep. It is now 6:21 in the morning. So this leads me to be more sleep deprived. And now they're vibrating both of my feet. They weren't vibrating me a couple of minutes ago. So, how come you gang stalkers deny being involved in organized crime? And then you point out what the target is doing that's sinful and wrong and unforgivable and stuff. When they manipulate and twist things to make people hate you, they lie and manipulate and twist things to make people hate you to the point where their false accusations of you doing X, Y, Z, people will think you're guilty and you did it and it's unforgivable. Like the fake T.I. perps, what I said about Mr. Freddie and the obituary thing from the Masonic Smelly Craft family. They manipulate for even other professed targeted individuals to hate me to the point where it's unforgivable. And like, for you to go to bat for and defend Freemasons that bad, yeah, because you're one of them. You're part of the Order of the Eastern Star. You're connected with them. So there was a fellow TI that gave me the suggestion to document the gang stalking but stay calm. I felt like that was very great advice. And she's the lady that's older than me too. But it's very hard trying to stay calm, because you try to stay calm and they do stuff that's even worse. And so the online gang stalkers, they would do like, oh, this is the real reason why Candy, hid her popular blog post, and then just say all kinds of lies and fake shit, and people believe it. So, to protect myself, I tried to not read all that stuff, all the lies and false assumptions that Star Bricker and all them was saying. So, the perps, what they'll do is they will tag me in a community post or share one of my videos and put a community post with a smear campaign to discredit me. And, when I get the notice that they share my post to try to make me look bad, and then they'll be like, well, this is proof that Candy's stalking me because I know she's watching this video. Well, I wouldn't know of anything if you wouldn't tag me. But that's how they do play games like this. But how do they lie and say I'm stalking them? Well, how am I stalking you when you don't put your real name or face? They have some perps with, an anonymous name, like you falsely call yourself God's gem when you're Satan's gem. And You have no videos. Like, I have no idea who you are. No videos, no pictures, nothing. I have zero clue who you are. So you stalk everything I do, everything I say, a whole group of y'all. And then, like, you know everything I'm doing on TikTok, on my blog, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere on social media, everywhere on the internet. You know all of my internet activity. And then y'all reverse it on me and lie and say that I'm stalking y'all. And then they'd be like, yeah, because I know Candy's watching this, or I know, and the fake TI perps, they do the same thing. The same thing. And then the online gang stalkers, they lied on me and say that I eat rotten food. You mean 2-day-old leftovers, you call that rotten food? Where the hell y'all get those lies from? And they're like, yeah, that's why her stomach is always messed up and she be constipated. And they still spread the lies and say, well, Candy admitted that she eats her earwax off camera. Like, y'all too old to be doing this kind of damn bullying and shit. Y'all really are. Y'all older than me, trolling and harassing me and making up lies on purpose, trying to destroy me. And so, like, when you walk away from a bully, they will lie on you and say that, they will make up lies and say that, that you're a coward and that you walked off and ignored them because you're guilty of wrongdoing. And they do that to try to bait and manipulate you into arguing and fighting back with them. Because they want a challenge and they want war. They want hardcore war. And even your own family members do the same thing. My own twin sister would try to, and some of the certain family members, they try to bait and manipulate you into an argument or a fight so that they can justify throwing the first lick and it's physically assaulting you. And then you defend yourself and fight back. And then they want bragging rights if they beat you up. But but if you beat them up and kick their ass, then all of a sudden they're the fucking victim. It's like my own twin sister would try to manipulate senseless arguments and then turn around and blame me and say it's all your fault. I mean, if you see like domestic violence and narcissistic abuse in action kind of videos, that's how my twin sister, how she does to me. But my twin sister, she really thinks she got some kind of power over me. So yeah, that's what the gang stalking trolls do. They stalk everything I do, and then they want to tag me in a post. They tag me in a post. And then being like, lie and say that I'm stalking you. You lie and say I'm stalking you. You tag me in a post and say all this horrible stuff, and then for me to feel like as if I gotta defend myself. And then for me to try to defend myself, people would be like, well, this is proof that you're guilty because but then again, if I was silent and ignored them and didn't say anything, people would still say, well, Candy's silence or pretending to act unbothered, oh, that's proof that she's guilty. Because why didn't she come out and clear her name? So either way, they want to have this, no matter what opposite end of the pole, they want to make things to look like Candy is guilty. So yeah, I've been disabled since before kindergarten. I guess as early as 2 years old, I had all these medical issues as far as I know. If I had all these surgeries and medical issues, how did they say I'm not disabled enough? So the foster mom, as I said, she pulled strings to get me Social Security just so she could take all the damn money. And my twin sister Brandy said that the foster family, or at least the foster mom, had life insurance policies put out on both of us or something like that. So maybe the foster mom kept me after turning 18 in hopes that she can make a big payout on having me sacrificed. Who knows? But I'm deeply hurt in this lonely, scary, cold world. And it's not, nowadays I'm hearing every single day. Like I'm feeling glad to not be around any of my family. They're just my temporal, fleshly, earthly family. Temporal, fleshly, earthly family. But some people feel like the body of Christ being family is more significant than fleshly, earthly blood relatives. So, society is okay with gang stalkers wishing death on me, and I get what I deserve, or play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I'm still alive, and Star Bricker is saying that. She heard me say that in the video about what would happen to me if I died, and they would say that about me. But I'm alive, and she copied that, and she started to say, make it like as if I deserve to be destroyed or imprisoned by the Social Security system. The Social Security system, if you do your research and deep research, because they be trying to hide the truth, Social Security system was created upon fraud. Our financial system is a fraud. The welfare system is a fraud. The way our government in this country was created was a fraud. Our food and everything is a fraud and a lie and a scam. And y'all not protesting that. How come you're not protesting Joe Biden, the president? That's a fucking fraud. But if you wouldn't have gang stalked me and forced me to be homeless, nearly destroying me totally, I would not have to beg for money. Y'all sitting here saying you need to go get a job at Dollar General. But if I got the job at Dollar General, you would make threats to call up the police and have me fired. I mean, these people are very controlling and aggressive. I mean, like, and then they falsely say I'm a demonic spirit or a satanic spirit. They falsely paint me as demonic and satanic. So I'm rejected from the body of Christ, because the body of Christ ain't even really Christian nowadays, especially in America. I'm not going to say there are no real Christians, but the majority of so-called Christians, it's like under strong delusion. Because you have narcs and, you got reptiles behind the pulpit in church. Masonic, narcissistic predators. What they call prosperity pimps. And nobody's allowed to question them because of their so-called falsely perceived position of a pseudo-authority, abusive, narcissistic, fake pseudo-authority. So how about that, though? You call me demonic because you feel like, oh, Candy be on social media all day and don't do anything else with her life. Well, I don't have transportation to go anywhere. This very small town, there's nothing I can really do. But you talk about that I should do this and do that. It ain't your business. I'm nearly 40 years old. And you're sitting here trying to control another grown woman. You're pathetic. but y'all going to hell. Let's see who the real fraud is when y'all be burning in hell. And I have a right to post what I want, or if I want to remove a post, I have a right to do that too, because it's my content. But they think that me removing a post or hiding something, oh, she's guilty of something. But then, or they'll play a game where they will get my post taken down and then lie and say that I took it down or hid it, but they the ones who falsely report me for harassment and doxing and stuff when they're doing it to me. I'm just exposing and documenting their harassment, and I'm fed up and frustrated like other sincere targeted individuals. And they got the most hateful things to say when I'm far from the worst person in the world. If you see stuff that your favorite celebrities are doing, you versus my so-called life, because I don't have a lifestyle because I don't get to choose the way I live. So Candy Grand Prix has zero lifestyle. I don't have a lifestyle because I don't get to choose it. But if you see how with the celebrities and their satanic rituals behind closed doors, then you're going to see, but y'all blinded by their fame, power, and money. And that's why y'all respect them and their fake positions of authority. Because celebrities are looked at as having, rulership or authority because of the influence. If celebrities are looked at as having authority over the fans. But we can choose, as so-called fans, we can choose to opt out and no longer support these demonic, satanic, sold-out celebrities. And then you defend and agree with celebrities because of their fame and power. Like, let me give y'all an example. I just saw a video of Chili from TLC. It was recommended to me on one of my other YouTube channels to watch. And so Chili, her, I guess a half-sister, that's long-lost sister, mentioned about them not being close, and then that they haven't really been close for years because they were on Sally Jesse Raphael years ago. I think I remember that. And Chili wanted to find her dad, and then so Chili from TLC wasn't really close with her siblings, and so people were asking the sister, and then the sister addressed it, and then they went to victim blaming and trying to automatically make it like as if Chili, they try to make it like as if Chili's, they trying to make it like as if Chili's sister was jealous, obsessed, and chasing behind Chili's riches, fame, and money. They just and try to make like Chili had a right to keep distance only because Chili has more fame and money. Y'all just abusive and narcissistic and jumping to conclusions and gossiping and falsely assuming stuff when y'all don't even know the real deal. Y'all just assume that Chili's the good one because she's got more fame and power and popularity. Y'all think she's the good one and the righteous one. And the same thing with whore Beyonce. If she had half siblings that are kids, and it came out the news that the kids were feeling sad about her not wanting anything to do with them. They're kids, and people were saying that the kids are sick in the head and obsessed and jealous and and that they just after Beyonce for her money or whatever else. But not everybody's soul can be bought, and not everybody is most people are, but not everyone. People would think that if somebody make you an offer for like $30 million and you reject that offer, people would say you're crazy. stupid, like something wrong with you. Like, why would you reject that? Because I would rather serve my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's why. When I was homeless on the streets, having to beg and panhandle because they sabotaged my writings. I mean, if the gang stalkers would not have touched or destroyed my writing, and if the target individual community didn't betray me, then my writings could have made their own money and spoke for themselves. And the gang stalkers think that nobody is supposed to like anything I write. They think that nobody is supposed to like any food that I cook. They lied on me and said that I messed up eggs or that I ruined the eggs. They took my video out of context. Talking about how can you ruin eggs? Well, I have a toaster oven. I don't have a skillet. And so the gang stalkers have an issue, and they falsely accuse me of putting coconut oil and Tony seasoning on everything. Excuse me. In which I don't put it on. I do not put it on everything. What am I? They think I deserve to be punished with eating bland food or no food at all. They want me with. I mean, they don't. They think that me. If I were to work at Dollar General or McDonald's or something, they would still call that scam and fraud. They think they got the authority to dictate that I should not be allowed to make a living. I even prayed to God how could I break free from even though I am disabled, but how could I break free from the Social Security and make my own living successfully? And not fame kind of successfully, but just sustainable enough just for me to survive independently without having to need anything, or without having to ask anybody for any money. Now, people are saying to be on the lookout for FedNow and reject, that we should be advised to reject FedNow. So FedNow will make many people who stand up for the truth and don't want to take the mark of the beast and all that, more of us going to end up being homeless. And, and I guess people won't be able to beg and ask others. So, I mean, that's why I say I am trying to put it in practice to try to get closer to God, trying to better myself. And the gang stalkers they don't want the target. They don't want you doing better. They don't want you to improve yourself. And as I said, they're trying to force you to die. The gang stalking network, they want to try to force you to die. And they want you to be miserable and unhappy, and then like the Satan's gym try to say that it's true, it's the truth that all my videos are negative and full of doom and gloom, but you still watch everything, huh? You still stalk and watch everything, huh? After you lied and said that you weren't going to continue to watch my videos anymore. So, I mean, I feel really disgusted that the gang stalking trolls falsely feel like they got more power and control over my blog and social media content than I do on my own shit. They think that they got more control over my food and finances than I have on my own shit. But if it weren't for this gang stalking, then I would not have had to be homeless, and I would not have to resort to a last resort to having to beg and panhandle for survival, because they blocked me from working, and I cannot work. Like at Dairy Queen the other day when I went there, they were blasting loud music from 2 different radios. I can't be around that. And then the first thing they would tell me, I can't have my rubbing alcohol to clean and sanitize, and I can't have my earbuds to block out the intentional loud noise that throughout centuries, people used to be able to work without. Throughout the centuries, people were able to work without the music that we have today. People nowadays are conditioned to feel like entertainment while working or even while not working, that entertainment is a must to get through the day. But back then, if people were picking cotton back then, or shoveling dirt, or building a railroad, and if they were working hard, back then, even during the slavery days, us black folks, our ancestors or whatever, black folks, they would sing hymns to the Lord. And I'm pretty sure even other races of people would, if they did some work, they would be, if you're working on a farm or something, and then, if you want some, you might sing hymns to the Lord. But nowadays, y'all want to sit there and force, whatever XYZ new fake artist is out there. And I can't stand listening to that kind of music nowadays. But, I always perform, not always, a lot of times, I perform best in silence. I'm more functional and can focus better in silence rather than, silence rather than, in silence rather than, around so much noise and chaos. But when I was at the Grand Canyon, they had perps blasting loud music from cell phones, and my phone was totally non-functional at the Grand Canyon. But how were the perps around me able to function their phones and everything? And then I even had to deal with the vibrating, them vibrating my body at the Grand Canyon. And the gang stalkers, I told y'all about how they try to manipulate for me to fall off. They try to deliberately manipulate for me to fall off a cliff. And when I went to Los Angeles, the gang stalkers stole all the pictures and videos, all that footage, all those Grand Canyon memories. If y'all would have seen pictures of me being 192 pounds, now I don't even have pictures of myself at that weight. And I don't have pictures of myself being at that weight. But I was 192 pounds. I was looking good. I just became homeless. But, I tried to better myself with the Grand Canyon. I only lasted 11 days. Workplace mob from the moment I got there. Starting with that Navajo Indian guy, Albert. He was an abusive, narcissistic, mean perp. And they created a hostile work environment at the Grand Canyon. And at Avis last June, not August. So, the gang stalking network is torturing and harassing me to the point where they're manipulating for me to be like temporarily psychologically, mentally, and emotionally crippled and paralyzed, where I can't even function. They won't even allow me to have a car so that I can, have better job opportunities and explore and have more adventure opportunities. But then they want to talk about how I just sit in the house all day. Well, if I leave the house, they would gang stalk me more. And they try to make as if I'm just this good for nothing, fat, lazy sloth. Fat, greedy, and lazy sloth. And if I am, It ain't your business.